Five. Yeehaw. Let's get this party started. Welcome back. Josh, Grade Up Customs here. Over the last couple of lives, I did a full parts setup and infusion on a race car part here. And we are going to do a live pop out and see what we get. What we're making is one of these. This is a test piece. And this is a wheel cover for land speed racing cars. So a couple of Zeus fasteners, boom, boom, boom. Looks really cool, helps your car go really, really fast. If you guys were following the last couple days, I've waited 24 hours. And with epoxy systems that we ran, you really want to wait 24 hours to do the demold process. I did do a bake cycle last night on the part, so that was in there for a few hours already curing. So if you want to pop it out after that, you're probably good to go. It's 6 one, half a dozen the other. If you want to wait the full 24, pop it out at 18 or something like that with a bake cycle. But for everything that's just a fresh run epoxy, you really want to give it overnight at least, just to make sure that your part is really, really well cured before you go popping it out. So our first step is to pull off the bag film. Woo. We are not reusing any of this, so this is going straight in the trash. And kind of par for the course. You can kind of see that there's a lot of miscellaneous epoxy bits just flying all over. So that's kind of some of the epoxy caught up in the vacuum bag. And it's all good. It'll be just fine. Yeah, sticky. That's how I like to do this. There are some guys who like to wax their molds all the way out to the edge, and when they do that, their gum tape comes off a little bit easier. I've tried that and I've had weird leaking issues here and there. Who do we got in here? How's it going? Danielle. We got a few people in the house here. How you doing? We're going to do a live carbon fiber pop out here. This is kind of really stressful because this is a very, very, very fancy fabric. I will show you guys. No, I'm not even going to show you guys the fancy fabric. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to show you guys the part. I'll show you guys the prototypes. This is our first part that was ever run out of the mold. And here's a wall art piece. A little bit dusty right now. That's okay. Fiberglass backside. Pretty cool. But this one's fancy. This one's really fancy. So on this side, we have our vacuum manifold, and we can just crack that loose. Apparently, it's all going to come off in one shot. That happens sometimes. All good. We'll need there's our resin feed side. Come on, get the bag tape off. So if you guys notice something about this, I guess I can't even see it on this right now. There is an in-mold clear coat on the very edge there, this little flashing. I run my in-mold clear coat all the way out to where my gum tape is. So I run my in-mold clear coat literally all the way out to where that gum tape line is. You can see a little bit of flashing here. And the reason why I do that is because it keeps your mold surface really clean between parts. So little trick of the trade. I mean, it uses a little extra material, a few ounces here and there, you know, but I find it's just really, really, really easy to keep your mold clean that way. There's our peel ply. That stuff peeled like butter. I like that a lot. think we're going to need to use more of that in the future. Holy moly, that's nice. So here's our part still in the mold. You can see the shape. You can see the backside. And here's where it gets fun. We know if we did a good job. This is nerve-wracking. We're doing it live. This is my first live pop-out on YouTube, so I am excited. We're going to throw a wedge underneath here. We're going to throw a wedge underneath here. You know what? I'm going to elevate this a little bit so you guys might be able to see a little bit more. Bum, ba, bum. I got to get a box or something here. How's that look? Does that look better? Ah. Trying to watch the camera. There we go. So here, again, you can see on the edge here, I've got that clear coat all around the perimeter of the part. And so that really helps me to slide a wedge underneath that as well. So that's another reason why I clear coat past the part. I would say it's a really good habit to get into doing, but that's just me. Everybody's got their own way and their own method, but I've run enough parts that I know it works. There we go. That's how easy it is to pop. All right, moment of truth. You guys ready? Let's get this party started. You guys are going to see it before I see it. How's that look? We're talking hotness here. Let me see what we got. Let me see what we got. Pretty good. Pretty darn okay. There's a little bit of print in the fabric, and that's normal with this fabric, but holy cow, this looks pretty darn good. This is awesome. This is going to look fantastic on a race car spinning. This is too cool. We're calling this the Q*bert. I am jazzed. Downtown Julie Brown. Woo! That is a successful first YouTube live pop-out, if you ask me. That's a good way to kick off the week. Nice and rigid. Again, back side, front side. Woo-hoo-hoo! That is hot. We're going to do some extra custom work to this too, so this is only going to get cooler. I am super stoked about this. So I'll show you guys the fabric now that the part is out. I am super, super excited about this. This is going to look great on the race car. So the fabric I'm using is from Composite Envisions out of Wisconsin. And this is called triaxial tub weave. So it's extremely thin. I'm going to try to, a little bit hanging up here. Must be tape or something like that hanging up on it. Hold on. I gotta be semi-careful here. What's going on? There we go. So this fabric is extremely thin. I don't know if you guys can actually see just with me flopping it around. This is like tissue paper thin. So the reason why is all the carbon fiber is laid out flat. And then obviously it's staggered at all the different directions to get the Q*bert weave. But a standard A standard 3K is a lot thicker than this is. A standard 3K plain weave is about 10 thousandths of an inch. A standard 6K twill weave or 6K plain weave is about 15 thousandths of an inch. So this fancy Q*bert stuff is literally 2 thousandths of an inch. It is so thin. It is ridiculous. And if you watch my first 2 lives, which I'll try to link or throw a related video, I'm kind of new to this YouTube stuff, so you might need to search for it in my profile. But the first live, you could see what I did to actually form the carbon into the mold. I ended up using a layer of fiberglass as a holding tool. Ended up gluing that together just to hold the shape, because it does not conform. It's one of the hardest fabrics I've ever used, by far, by far. So as you can see, we're gonna make a couple more of these. But there you guys go. Grey Duck Customs, one of a kind, custom Land Speed Racing wheel covers. Super, super awesome. Let me pull off the mold surface here. So here you can see our mold. The mold is, at least the mold surface that we're working with, the part face itself, is perfectly polished. It looks like glass. The outside flange area, I don't really do too much work on the outside flange. It's not a big deal. So if you guys are building molds, trick of the trade, keep your mold surface polished and don't worry about the outside flange. Anyway, so Grey Duck Customs, we are over and out. First live pop-up. Catch you guys later. Have a good one.